Well, I think one would not immediately think of Beethoven as a composer for the voice, but in fact Beethoven wrote some incredible early pieces for voice and small orchestra, often for kind of young singers or actually actresses, and it's beautifully written for the voice. There is great Beethoven vocal music, and that's what we hope to do with this disc.
The first time that I sang a piece by Beethoven was about 10 years ago, and I fell in love with his music, not just because it's beautiful, but because it's so dramatic and it has so many possibilities. I also understood why a lot of singers avoid singing Beethoven, because it really is challenging for the voice. The lines are not vocal, they are more instrumental, and the whole thinking is orchestral. It doesn't just sit naturally in the voice. What I discovered is in dealing with the vocal challenges, what was the most fascinating is the solution was never a purely vocal one. It was really an emotional one. It made me really think about my own past experiences in love. And not just think about them, but relive them. Only when I allowed myself to go back to those places, then the phrases set perfectly and beautifully in the voice. It wasn't an easy journey, emotionally, mostly. There were some beautiful moments that I relived how I felt when I first fell in love. When you find someone and you know it's the only person on earth for you, and then he or she, they run away, they go off with someone else, and you are left with the pain, with the despair, feeling betrayed. One cannot help but think about Beethoven's own misfortune in love.
For this disc of Beethoven songs and arias, we have adopted a pitch of A equals 438. And of course it has a very big effect on the sound of music and the way the instruments sound. Particularly the wind instruments, they sound a little more brilliant as well, not just the strings, but the winds have a very, very different flavour as well. So this is a new step forward in pushing forward the new barrier for classical pitch.
A very special moment for me was when I sang Marzelline for the first time at the Vienna State Opera. Because it's singing Beethoven in Vienna. Almost everywhere you go, there is a plaque on a building that he was living there or writing there, because he moved, he lived in so many places. And Vienna is a city which is so associated with him.
It's my first time and the Academy's first time working with Ken. She's a wonderful interpreter of this music and is steeped in the Austrian tradition. She's worked there a long time. But, I mean, tradition is a funny thing because, as Toscanini famously said, tradition is only the last bad performance. But she comes from that she's very familiar with that world and Viennese conservatism, perhaps, and steeped in the Viennese-ness of things. And it's fantastic working with her. We're having a great time doing this disc with her.